Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my most anticipated 2021 releases. I'm really excited to be doing this video because I haven't been on BookTube all that long, so this is like my first end of the year, December kind of video set that I can do, and I am really excited to talk about the books that I'm looking forward to in the next year, and the first one is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. In case you couldn't tell, I'm a pretty big Sarah J. Maas fan. I know, it's pretty basic, but whatever. And her ACOTAR series is like one of my best guilty pleasures. I loved it when I reread it. I still reread it for all of the good feels that A Court of Mist and Fury will always give me. And A Court of Silver Flames is the next book in that series. It is probably, unpopular opinion here, semi-unpopular opinion here, I don't know. It's probably not a storyline that I'm super excited about. For those of you who don't know, A Court of Silver Flames, while it is a continuation of the ACOTAR series, it actually follows Nesta and Cassian as its main characters, who are characters from the original series. Nesta is actually the sister of the main girl in the series. I hated her, like, a lot. I hated her guts. I thought she was needlessly bitchy for absolutely no reason. I kind of thought Nesta was trash. So, while I'm not super excited about the characters that it's going to follow, I am excited for a new follow-up to the ACOTAR series. However, I do not like the new covers, and I do not like the fact that the new covers are not going to match my old covers, which I like more than the new covers, and I will never change them. Literally never. But it's fine. Whatever. We're gonna move on. So A Court of Silver Flames comes out on January 26th, I think is the date. That might have gotten pushed back, actually, now that I think about it. It might have gotten pushed back to February. But it is sometime in early next year. I ordered my pre-ordered signed edition from Barnes & Noble's already, so I'll get to read it hopefully as soon as it gets here and see if I still think that Nesta is trash. Honestly, I'm just reading it for the Feyre and Rhysand tie-ins and Cassian because I love Cassian. The next book on my list is Crown of Bones by A.K. Wilder. This looks like a young adult fantasy, and it's coming out on January 5th of 2021. First of all, the cover's absolutely gorgeous, so we need to accept and acknowledge that fact. That is what drew me in. I am 100% a cover person. If I love the cover, I will check out the book at the very least. But Crown of Bones, as far as I can tell, involves a young, I think it's a girl, her name is Ash. She's a scribe, or she's supposed to just be a lowly scribe, but I think it's kind of got the chosen one trope in there, and she's not just a lowly scribe, she's destined for greater things. That is all that I know, and I guess we will find out more in January. I haven't seen any arcs of this on NetGalley or anything, I haven't requested anything, so I will find out then. Hopefully I will get to read it and review it for you guys. So the next book on my list is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I love Alexandra Bracken. I read the Darkest Mind series when it first came out, and I fell in love. I read all of the books as soon as I could get my hands on them. I forced John to go to the movies with me as soon as the movie came out. I didn't hate it, in all honesty. I thought, while it wasn't the best movie in the entire world, I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing one of my favorite series come to life. So The Darkest Minds was great, and so when I saw that Alexandra Bracken was coming out with a new series, and this seems to have its ties in with like Greek mythology, I was so in. This also comes out on January 5th of 2021, and it's kind of like, as far as I can tell, it's kind of like a Percy Jackson kind of a deal where a descendant of a Greek god gets involved in stuff way over her head, deal with some kind of new god that's on the rise. I don't really know all the specifics. I don't really care about the specifics. I know that it is written by Alexandra Bracken. I know that it involves Greek mythology. And I know that I love this cover as well, and really that's all that I need. Alright, so the next book on my list is The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry. This is written by C.M. Wagner. This comes out in January, I think it's January 12th, 2021. I've talked a little bit about this on my channel before, I think. Maybe I haven't mentioned it. I don't really know. I got an arc of this off of NetGalley, so I do really need to get a move on with reading it. But essentially, it's a sapphic bodyguard romance, and the bodyguard is a wizard, witch, I don't know. She, like, is super broke, and she makes her way in her world off of the powers that she has, but it's kind of like an urban fantasy where she's, like, magic is known, but she's in, like, Elizabethan England, I think? I don't know. She's in, like, historical England. but she's like a witch and she has to become a bodyguard. And it sounds so good, and I just haven't had the chance to pick it up yet, and I really, really need to get to it because it comes out in January, so I need to get my review in. But I'm really excited to read it, and the cover is really cool, and the concept is really cool, so I really hope that it is going to be an amazing read. This next one is really another cover buy for me. Like, I saw the cover and it immediately caught my attention because it is beautiful. I know that people have their opinions on, I think it's Charlie Bowater's artwork on various covers. They think that it all looks the same. I don't care. I think that they're all absolutely beautiful. Like, this cover is stunning. And Cast in Firelight by Dana Swift sounds so good. It comes out on January 19th of next year. I just realized that the majority of my new releases I'm talking about are coming in the beginning of the year, so I might have to do another one of these in like June or something to cover the second half of the year, but whatever. I'm pretty sure this involves two heirs of two different kingdoms that have an arranged marriage that try and escape the arranged marriage, and they like take on assumed identities in like the criminal underbelly of the city, and then they like meet each other anyway and start to fall in love even though they have no idea who the other one is. Maybe that could be totally wrong, but that's what I got out of the synopsis, and I think that that sounds really entertaining, in all honesty. It's a YA fantasy. It sounds really, really cool. I can't wait to get my hands on it. This next book I know that I have talked about in the past, and that is Red, White, and the Blues by Risa Walker. So this is the second book in the spin-off series to Timebound, which is also by Risa Walker. I think that this follows the origin of the Kronos company, whatever. So in the first series of books, you follow a girl whose grandmother tells her that she is a time traveler, she's from far in the future, and the entire timeline is getting wrecked by various reasons, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, I believe that the spin-off series is the, like, Kronos origin story, and it talks about how Kronos came to be, how the time traveling in the future came to be, and you get to learn more about that. So it's kind of like a prequel series, I believe, and this also comes out on January 19th of 2021. I have the arc of this on NetGalley, so I really need to get a move on. I have the first book, Now, Then, and Every When. I don't think I'm going to get through the entire Timebound series so that I can read this prequel series, so I think I'm just going to have to skip ahead and read Now, Then, and Every When first, so that I can get to Red, White, and the Blues before January 19th, so that I can get my review in on NetGalley in time. But I am really excited. I love that storyline. I talked about it in my November wrap-up. I just love that world. I love the concept. I love time travel. I love, like, the time-traveling YA romance. I love all of it, and I don't see why the spin-off series would be any different for me. This next book probably doesn't need too much introduction because everybody talks about A Curse So Dark and Lonely on BookTube literally everywhere. And the third book in that trilogy is coming out also in January. January 26th, I believe, is the actual date. I haven't read A Heart So Fierce and Broken yet. I'm kind of holding off on it because I heard that it kind of hits off on a cliffhanger. I don't want to deal with that emotionally. I can't really feel like I can handle that emotionally, so I'm just going to wait until closer to the release date of A Vow So Bold and Deadly before I read A Heart So Fierce and Broken, but it just continues the storyline of A Curse So Dark and Lonely, as far as I know, because I haven't read the second book yet. So that's all I can say about it, but I am really excited. I adored the first book when I read it, I believe at the beginning of this year. I pretty much read it in one sitting, and I can't wait for this book to come out so that I can finish my read of the whole trilogy. This next book, the cover deserves the honorable mention because, oh my god, it is gorgeous. I do not have any words to describe how in love with the cover of this book I am. It's beautiful. I feel like this cover the way that I do with the Legendborn cover. The colors are fantastic. It's beautiful. I don't have any other words. It's beautiful. But this is Unchosen by Catherine Blair. It comes out on January 26th of 2021. I think that it's another YA fantasy. I'm pretty sure that the synopsis says something about a curse and maybe a pirate captain or a sea captain or something along those lines. I know that it's a standalone, so I'm pretty excited for that because I just feel like I'm stuck in too many series right now that I need to finish, and I'm so, like, all over the place with my reading taste right now that I just haven't been finishing any series that I've been starting, so I'm really excited for a standalone, and I'm excited for a YA fantasy standalone that sounds this awesome. I think that there's a curse that is, or a plague or something, that is spread by eye contact, so I'm really not sure how that works, but I'm really interested in finding out, and I think that it might have to do with zombies. It says that humanity is getting turned into flesh-eating monsters, so I'm automatically intrigued. Like, a good zombie story is really interesting to me. But like I said, that comes out on January 26th of 2021, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it because it just sounds so cool and it looks so pretty, and I need it on my shelf. It needs to be up there. It needs to be displayed in a place of honor because I love this cover so much. Okay, my last my last 4 books that I'm talking about are more honorable mentions because I didn't actually do the research to see when they're coming out, and I now realize that all of the books that I just talked about are in January, so it's whatever, it's fine. January releases that I'm excited for, I guess. But I'm pretty sure that the next Skyward book by Brandon Sanderson is supposed to come out in 2021. I'm pretty sure that he was supposed to be, like, working on that after he finished Rhythm of War, which obviously that just came out last month. So I think that he's working on the 3rd Skyward book, which I'm really excited for. I loved Skyward and I loved Starsight so much, and Starsight left off on a pretty big cliffhanger, so I need to know what happens next. You can't just leave me hanging like that. Skyward was amazing. It was definitely one of my favorite reads of the entire year. The main character of that book is just so easy to fall in love with. She's great. She's badass. She is hilarious. And the side characters in that were great as well. I mean, Doomslug, and I don't remember the name of her ship, but her ship was pretty awesome as well. Like, everybody. I loved everybody in that entire story. I can't wait to see what happens to them next. Nobody actually knows, I don't think, when this is coming out, but I think it was rumored to be 2021, so here's hoping. The next 2 books I'm going to talk about together because I also don't know. I'm pretty sure they're coming out next year. But Kevin Hearn is coming out with a sequel to Ink and Sigil, which is his most recent book, which was a spin-off of the Iron Druid series that follows, I think his name was Al McVarish. He's like this older gentleman. He's Scottish. He uses sigil magic, and he's just fantastic. Ink and Sigil was like a kind of a murder mystery sort of deal. It was great. It was hilarious. It was an amazing read. I highly recommend it to anybody who is remotely interested in that. And I think that he's also working on the 3rd book to his Seven Kennings series, which is an adult high fantasy. It takes place in like 12 different POVs, and that's really, really interesting to follow, as they all kind of provide their own viewpoints on a war with giants that's happening. The 1st book is called Plague of Giants, the 2nd book is called A Blight of Blackwings, and I don't remember what the 3rd book is called, but I think that it's supposed to be coming out in 2021 as well. I can't wait. A Plague of Giants was so good when I read it last year. I can't wait. I have A Blight of Blackwings. I need to get it higher up on my TBR so that I can actually read it because I loved the 1st book so much. The last book on this list to talk about is, I don't actually know what it's going to be called, but I'm pretty sure the 2nd book in the House of Earth and Blood series by Sarah J. Maas is also supposed to come out in 2021. I don't think we have a release date yet. I don't think we even have a title yet, but I know that she said something about it coming out next year. So, cross our fingers and hope, I guess. I cannot wait. I loved House of Earth and Blood so much. It's displayed in a place of honor on my bookshelves. It is just so beautiful. The cover is gorgeous. The storyline was great. I adored Bryson Hunt so much as characters. I loved the whole storyline. I loved the world. I loved the magic. This is a Sarah J. Maas stan account. It's fine. But I think we're getting the new House of Earth and Blood next year. I cannot wait to get my hands on that book because I am so excited to see where she's going next with this story. It was one of my top 5 reads of the entire year. I loved it so much. I realize this turned into a video of me mostly just going on about covers that I really, really loved, and obviously it was really only talking about January releases, so I might have to follow this up because it's definitely not a 2021 release. But that's fine. That's okay. Maybe I'll make another video. But yeah, those are some 2021 releases that I am really, really excited about. I can't wait to get my hands on all of them. Unfortunately, they are all coming out in January, so it's not like I'm going to be able to read them immediately, but we're going to do our best, aren't we? So that is it for me today, guys. I will see you in my next video. I hope you're having a great day or night, and goodbye!